Hi, I'm Jean Bragg, filming live here at Travis Jean on the set of Up Next With. You're watching MakingBib.tv.
Hello, my name is Christopher Cabanis, and I am serving as your host once again for a wonderful show entitled Up Next With. And today we're actually, and I know it doesn't really seem like it, but we're going to roll up our sleeves today and engage in a wonderful dialogue to deal with what I call a major pink elephant that has basically outgrown our individual lives, our individual rooms, homes, our communities, our churches, and even our country at large. And I believe that today is going to allow us to receive some wonderful, impactful, effective, informative information as it relates to this pink elephant called mental illness. And today we are sharing here with a wonderful, gifted, more than qualified brother in the personality of Dr. Darren Moore, who is sharing with us on today to discuss some of these ills and social issues that plague our society. This young man is gifted as well as qualified in the area of behavioral science. He works in the field of psychology or psychiatrist field for Mercer University. And so we want to just give you an opportunity, my brother, to introduce yourself and kind of let us know what all does your life entail right now, and how did you end up all the way in Macon, Middle Georgia?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come here today. So I guess I'll talk to you a little bit about my background and then maybe what I do on an everyday basis.
Okay.
And so I am originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota. That is the home of Prince and the Minnesota Timberwolves, Minnesota Twins. I did my bachelor's degree in African American Studies at the University of Minnesota. And as I was taking classes, I really decided to focus in on families. And so I became interested in what are some of the things that impact families, both from an external level, so what are the things that are going on around the family that impact how we interact with one another and how we experience issues and problems and concerns, and then also what are the internal things, what are the things that are happening in the family system that also impact behavior. And so I decided to, at one point I was considering law school, but then I decided I wanted to really go into family therapy. And so I relocated down to Valdosta, Georgia, of all places, and I completed the master's program there in marriage and family therapy. When I was there, of course, I did not want to stop, and so I decided to pursue the PhD in marriage and family therapy. So I relocated to Blacksburg, Virginia, and obtained the doctorate there at Virginia Tech. And so, let's see, while I was completing my dissertation, I had the opportunity to teach at Valdosta State for a year prior to coming to Mercer. And so right now I am an assistant professor in the Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences Department at Mercer University School of Medicine, and I teach in the master's program in marriage and family therapy. So I teach graduate level students on how to do therapy, how to work with individuals, couples, and families, how to address some of the mental health issues that often plague the community. I also train medical students as well in how to do family therapy. In addition, I do research and I teach a number of classes in the core curriculum.
Okay, so when we look at the whole dynamics of mental health, and we understand that over the past maybe 10, 15, 20 years, we never really heard about the challenges of mental health, although it has been around for 30, 40 plus years. But why do you think there's such a rise now in these times that we're living in? Why do you think there's such a rise and there's such an increase of individuals battling with this issue or this type of illness? What are some of the contributing factors? Because we can say all day that it may be hereditary, but I believe that a lot of times life's experiences, losses, tragedies, and unseen circumstances may be a contributing factor. But as it relates to your expertise, what do you think is causing this steady rise?
Well, one of the things I think is important for us to consider is, I don't know so much that I think that there is necessarily an increase in terms of kind of the statistics here, but I think what has happened is there is an increase in the level of awareness. I think individuals, couples, and families have always struggled with issues and concerns and problems dating back many, many years. I think in terms of our attitudes about, is it acceptable to even bring those issues up, is something that I think is changing over time.
Correct.
I think that in the past, in many instances, things that happened within families were kept in the family.
Swept under the rug.
Swept under the rug.
Correct.
This idea that there is an elephant in the room, there's always been an elephant in the room.
Correct.
But I think that now we're starting to pinpoint the importance of addressing the elephant in the room. I think when I think about what's important in terms of families, I think that there are so many issues, so many concerns that are plaguing the family. And they are, in essence, destroying the family. And so I think there's more of a push to reunification, a focus on how do we become healthy? How do we live satisfying lives? And I think that what we're seeing is that there's less of a reluctance to really address those issues. It's still there. We still don't really want to talk about what we're really dealing with. But I think it's becoming more acceptable across a variety of, race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, etc. I think there's becoming more of an issue or more of a push towards addressing those issues.
Because I also think too that for a lot of individuals, it was something that people kind of feared. They didn't want people to know, hey, I'm going to actually sit and on someone's couch and to discuss my own personal issues. And I think that now, because of the awareness, that a lot of people are more prone now to really being comfortable with saying it's okay for me to go and to sit and speak or converse or dialogue with a Dr. Darren Moore. It's more acceptable now, and I think that when we look at the trend, I think that there has been a great increase of these illnesses, but I think that people are now more open to embracing it as an issue, because when I look at a lot of the demands and the challenges that not only that I face as an individual, but others who come to me for counsel or come to me for direction, it's almost as if everybody is battling in the mind.
That's right.
It's almost like there's a battlefield in the mind, and it is a fight every day. And so how can individuals begin to even move to cope with this battle, or to be in a position to even survive this everyday battle? What are some of your suggestions that you would like to share, that people could utilize to begin to cope? Because you have a story.
I do have a story.
On the negatives and the positives and the advantages and disadvantages of really coping and maintaining a mental balance. Why don't you share that? Share that.
Okay. Well, first, before I tell you about my story, I think that it is important for